Hello, welcome to another Tonalist landscape oil painting demonstration. This is your painter in residence, M. Francis McCarthy, and a bonus video today. I'm bringing you a redo, and it's a painting called Autumn Afternoon. It's a 5x7. And I painted the original, which you are seeing me do now, in May, actually, of 2017, so 2 years ago. And it's sort of an interesting scene. I knew I was going to have issues before I painted it, and maybe we'll talk about that a bit in a minute. But I did have some issues, and they were the exact issues that I knew I was going to have. And anyway, like I said, we'll get into that in a minute. But so we're driving through the English countryside, which, if you haven't been there, England doesn't get as much credit as it's due for being a very, very beautiful country with exquisite landscapes all around. France is great too. California, beautiful. New Zealand, we got you beat. But whatever. One of the things I like to do is, my wife does most of the driving when we're on holiday, is I will, if I see something, I might just roll down the window and shoot a quick picture. And the reference photo that I used for this painting, that was the case. And it was these trees I was interested in. They have these like white trunks. And already I was thinking, I don't know if that's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. But I sort of sorted out an interesting sky. It wasn't the original sky. I seldom do use the original skies, but I got me some reference for another sky and just proceeded to paint it. Now my thinking was, well, maybe if I can make this work, I will do a larger painting, but there is no larger version of this. So you are seeing me go for the sky here, and actually I think the sky is the best part of it. The other thing that interested me was these rocks. There was this very rocky sort of landscape, and we have landscapes like that out here in New Zealand too. I was very interested in that as well. There were a lot of things. I worked out a composition I thought was essentially pretty strong. Not, the world's most revolutionary composition, but a good, strong composition. The other thing that was quite attractive is these trees had these white trunks and these very red leaves. And I believe this was autumnish, probably of the year before, 2016 or so. But so I proceeded to do the painting, and I'm giving you like a full rundown on the entire painting. You may have noticed from the photo that was presented to you when you clicked on the video that it doesn't look like this very much at all. And so this is yet another example of extreme glazing, and a way that I figured I could save this painting. And I did that back in October of last year, 2018. And I felt that it's a very rich and inviting painting now. And for that reason, I'm going to be popping it in my store. This brings us to the liking portion of this video. If you haven't liked this video, would you please do so? I really appreciate it. It just tells YouTube to point other people to this video that might like content that's similar to mine, if there is any out there. But either way, people that like watching pardon me, painting demonstrations, yeah, just smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, why not? You won't regret it. I'm very consistent. What you're seeing now is what you'll see in the future, and well, it's actually improved over what I've done in the past. But if you even go back to some of my oldest videos, I've been pretty consistent in what I do. I just pretty much share the entire painting process all the way through. Some painters like to do like they'll just skip a chunk, and I always find that unnerving. Sometimes I have to do it too, like if I forget to record, you'll see just, a big chunk of paint appear in front of you. Go, whoa, what happened? But it's never by intention here. It's just because I didn't remember to hit record. Now, one of the main reasons that I'm doing this video today is I finally got my new Sennheiser headset. So hopefully a lot of the audio issues I've been having with my ancient headset will be a thing of the past now, and we can just all revel in the clean, clear audio. I did a little test. It seems pretty good. I'm kind of concerned that it doesn't actually clip at all. I don't know. It doesn't go into the yellow or even anywhere close to the red, and that's actually with the volume maxed out. So we'll see. I can always turn that up, especially if it's giving us a clear signal without a bunch of distortion and hissing. I was running into that with my old headset. Anyway, you can see I've got the sky in now, and we're working on burnt umber as per usual, and that's why the trees look so dark. And we're basically popping in. So I was sort of a bit challenged with this area in the back. It's like a green, and I was thinking, I don't know if that's a good call. I actually, you'll see what I do when I revise this. I pretty much just make all that very vague. And I have to say, I think I dramatically improved this painting. But one of the reasons I'm doing this new way of showing you the revisions is that I think it's good to show the entire struggle, maybe that went into the painting, all the things that were good and some of the things that were bad. In the past, when I've done revision videos, it would be just the revision section, and the revision section of this video is only going to be, it's coming up in about 2 minutes or so. It's only going to be about 1/4 of the length of this video, because the extreme glazing has a very, very strong impact very, very quickly. Yeah, it's a super powerful technique, and if you haven't used it yet on one of your really bad, stinky paintings, maybe after this video is done, you can just get a tube of paint out and a paper towel. That's usually what I use, a little bit of oil. I like to use a quick drying oil, but you can use regular linseed. And the thing is, though, you want to make sure that, for the most part, you want to make sure that your glazing color is a transparent color, and that's usually indicated on the tube. So if you're not sure, just read around the tube. Some transparent, semi-transparent colors will work. Although you may have to go in and restate your darks. A lot of times you'll find you'll be restating some of your darks anyway. But so this painting had a nice composition, nice red trees, some interesting rocks. I didn't love the green and the distance. I was very new at this point still to the burnt umber, and so you can see I'm leaving little bits of that showing through, and I was really enjoying that. You have to understand that for many, many years, I'd have to say at least 6 or 7 years prior to me switching to burnt umber as a ground color to paint on, I was painting on burnt sienna. So I was still I'm very used to it now, but still really enjoying how I could kind of get. Okay, so yeah, we're looking at second pass of my first color painting trip, so probably dried. I don't think I did a lot of glazing. Maybe I'm going to do a little glazing. We're watching this together. I haven't actually seen it since that time. Or maybe I could have gone to lunch. I don't know. I can see if I really start getting loud, it does clip a little bit. It never clips all the way. So Sennheiser, I actually use their headphones in my music production, and I really am a big fan of their products. That's awesome German technology. Yeah, it doesn't look like I'm doing any glazing on this, just kind of finishing it up. So probably went to lunch, putting in the light color in the tree, and I sort of regretted that the second I did. I was like, wow, that's not really working it's not really working to me. Also, like, there was a lot of complexity in the tree shapes themselves. I don't really recommend that. If your photo, probably the photo had even more, because I know what I'm doing, but you got to simplify things. You really do. If a tree's got eight branches coming off the trunk, make it 4. That's a good rule of thumb. That's a good tip for you right there. Anyway, we're getting close to the end of the initial color pass. This is what I could do. I like the red in the ground. I like the rocks. I like the trees, but ultimately I just felt that it was not working, and so I bailed. So what we're looking at now, don't be confused by the temperature difference. I have a skylight in my studio, so some days are warmer. You can see first thing I'm doing is hitting it with a glaze right now. And this is probably a mix of permanent orange. Oh, I tried some green there, and I'm thinking, whoa, that's not good. I got rid of that. And permanent orange is only semi-transparent. Probably some transparent earth yellow, and I'm thinking I did actually some Hansa yellow as well, and you can see I'm kind of erasing some things, and I don't honestly know really what I'm doing. But I don't. This is a great thing about the revisions. It doesn't matter because I wasn't happy with the painting. So whereas, and I've talked about this in the past, but whereas I've always got a plan and I'm following through on it, and I do a lot of good paintings that way. If the painting didn't work out, if it wasn't strong, that's when I'll call in something like extreme glazing. So right now I'm going, well, yeah, I'm liking this orange. I'm liking this. I think I'm just gonna. I like those rocks. You can see how I was hanging on to them, but then I'm going, no, I'm gonna lose them, and that's difficult sometimes, because if there might be parts of your painting. This is another really good tip for you. There might be parts of your painting that you really like that are actually even masterfully painted, but don't work with the rest of the painting. And so my strong recommendation in those instances is just to let it go, because it's all about the entire painting. It's not about any particular chunk. Yeah, so you can see I'm thinking, that green's not working. It's not working, and this is working, right? Kind of this hazy, orangey, dusky feeling, which in the last revision I think I pointed out that I took a painting that was only maybe semi-tonal and drove it very strongly into a tonal direction. So this is kind of indicative of how the tonalists arrived at so much of their results through glazing. Glazing is very powerful, and there's many effects that you see in tonalist paintings that can only be arrived at through glazing. So just a heads up there. Yeah, so I like the red in the trees too. I'm saying forget it. I think if I recall, this is about 6 months ago now, I'm thinking I actually kind of wipe a little bit off to bring up some of the red again. But so you can see I've simplified the trees, and right now I'm still hanging on to the sort of lightish foreground. That's not going to last long. It's not. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, well, how can I make this better? And wow, it's so much fun. I tell you, and I'm so proud and happy to be able to put something like this in my store, because I love the painting now, and I didn't love it before. So had I hung on to it the way it was before, I'd just have another semi-good painting in a box, where now I can put this in my store, or I can put this in a gallery, and I feel proud of it, and I feel proud to have my name on it, and for people in the future to be looking at it. Yeah, so you can see I've just made the decision. I'm going to go with the whole entire foreground dark, and you can see how powerful that is. Yes, and so it's not exactly glazing what I'm doing, but in a sense it is, because I'm using the color black in a transparent way. And you may or may not be aware that black is an excellent color for glazing. You need to be very strategic with it though. Don't rub it over the entire painting. That will be a disaster, I guarantee it. But it can be very powerful. And you can see how I'm wiping some things away, and now things are kind of pulled together. Wow. So exciting. Anyway, it's getting close to the end here. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you're enjoying this nice, clear, clean, better audio. Let's hope it is. I haven't actually gone in and fully tested it yet. This is sort of my way of doing that. Like I said, this painting is going to be in my store, and I'll be having a blog post. So if you want to see a better resolution version of this, just tip on over to the blog. It's all on my website, landscapepainter.co.nz. See, it's scrolling across there. And I'll be back. Hopefully I'm going to have a past master for you this weekend. It'll mean I have to do some photography. I have some excellent ones in my drawing area that are done. Yeah, maybe it all depends, really. You know I love you, and that's why I'll do it. I probably will. I'll probably bring those home and photograph them so I have something for you like that. Anyway, till I see you again real soon, please take good care and stay out of trouble.